Welcome to the Fit Nation Refuel Station. It's refuel because, let's face it, you're already fueling, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to show you how to refuel, in other words, so that you can see the changes in your composition that you're wanting. Now, this video is actually going to be a bit long, so stay with me, okay? Stay with me. It's going to be a bit long, but I promise you there's so much to it, and there's so much more. Now, this is MP 101, or Meal Planning 101. So when you're planning your meals, there are two factors that you must consider. Number one, first and foremost, what is the goal? Okay, is it weight loss or is it health? Have you just been diagnosed with like type 2 or diabetic, something like that? And you have to get serious about this weight thing, okay? Maybe a buddy or colleague, or you're getting married in a couple of months and you're gonna be on the beach and you need to get it right. You see, the goal actually anchors your focus and it sets your compass. Now, number two, and this is often overlooked, is only you know your schedule, okay? What kind of day do you have? Do you have a hectic job? Do you entertain clients? Are you in and out of appointments and meetings all day? You see, these things are fixed and unchangeable moments, right? Fine, okay? Just plan your meal around these events and work outwardly from there. You have a meeting at 10 that you can't change? Fine. Plan to eat prior, like around 9:45 or so, and now you have a 3 to 4 hour window until your next meal. Are you seeing this? You see, it's a fail to plan, plan to fail sort of thing. Okay, you've got three sources of nutrients, right? You have proteins, you have carbohydrates, and you have fats. So what are some good sources of proteins? You have chicken, eggs, you have salmon, tuna, steaks, you have turkey, you have lean pork, and you have the ground version. The ground version would be ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef. You have carbohydrates, things like sweet potatoes, red potatoes, jasmine or basmati rice. You have red, white, black quinoa. You have oats. You have different types of healthy bread like lavish bread or Ezekiel bread. You also have Dave's Killer bread. You have things like beans and lentils, deep leafy greens, and of course you have fruits. And lastly, you have the fats, like things like nuts and seeds. You have almonds, pecans, you have Brazil nuts, and things like sunflower seeds, pine nuts. Avocado is a good healthy fat. Egg yolks are a good healthy fat. Healthy oils will be things like avocado oil, EVOO, sesame oil, coconut oils, things like that. Now, this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but it sets a solid foundation to start with. Okay, so what does meal one look like? Let's jump into this. Okay, let's look at meal one. Okay, you are breaking your fast, right? Okay, you're breaking your fast, right? And of course, it is the most important meal of the day. And why is that? Because it actually sets up your body's laser guidance system and it tells it where it's going to find its energy for the day. And this is important because if you provide it via food, specifically carbohydrates, then it doesn't have to go looking for energy sources. On the flip, if you don't provide it, then your body will have to go find it on its own. And where do you think it's going to look first? You got it. It's going to tap into your body fat reserves, and this is the beginning of fat burning. And this is important because that first meal should be lower in the type of carbohydrates that's higher on the glycemic scale, like potatoes and breads and things like that. And it should be higher in proteins, fats, and fibrous type of carbohydrates like kale, spinach, or sweet green peppers, things like that. Now, this meal will be something like a veggie omelet, okay, with some turkey bacon or some turkey sausage. Now you have a high protein, high fiber, high fat meal for meal one. Are you seeing this? This is how we do it. Now, meal two will be slightly different, but similar in premise because you still have the high protein, you still have the high fats, but this time you're allowed like a small amount of extra energy carbohydrates, like some berries or something like that. So meal two would look something like a yogurt-based meal with like a quarter cup of fresh or frozen berries. And if you want a bit more protein, you could throw in like maybe a half a scoop of some protein powder. And it also gives a little bit of sweetness, right? And then on the side, you do like say 1 to 1.5 of mixed nuts for your fat. Boom, that's meal. So you've got meal one and meal two. And then next up, you have that midday meal. Now again, You want to continue on the same premise with the high protein, the high fiber, the high fat, and the low carb type meal. All right. So what protein do you want? Do you want chicken? Do you want salmon? Do you want tuna? What do you want? All right. So then you have that. You pick your protein, right? Now, what kind of carbs? You can do a few extra since it's midday, right? A little extra carbs would be something like sweet potatoes or jasmine rice or something like that. So a good midday meal template with something like this. It would be say like grilled chicken, and you would do like half a slice of avocado on the top with some jasmine rice and some broccoli florets mixed in, and you make two of those. All right. So now you've got midday meal and your final meal of the day. All right. Now, so meal 4 again is similar to meal 2. Now, depending on how your meals are structured, it will you want to do something simple for this particular meal, something like a protein shake. Boom. Something like a protein shake or protein bar. And with that, you do like some fibrous fruit, like some berries or gala apple, again, with some nuts as your fats. And there it is, right there. You've got meals 1, 2, 3, 4, and meal 5. So it would look like this. Meal 1 would be a veggie omelet. Meal 2 will be your yogurt base with throw in some protein and some fresh berries and some nuts on the side. Meal 3, that would be your grilled chicken, sliced avocado, maybe some baked sweet potato or some steamed rice with sauteed broccoli and some EVOO. And if you want to do some extra fats, throw some pecans on the side. And of course, meal 4, that will be your protein shake or your protein bar with a quarter to a half cup of fresh berries with some mixed nuts on the side. And of course, meal 5 is just like meal number 3. You see how? Keep it simple. You want to keep it simple because if it's simple, you'll be compliant. All right. The more moving parts there is to this machine, the less likely you are to be compliant. I want you to learn this. Get this deep on the inside. Now, I know your question is, Sean, I mean, that's cool, but how much? I'm 250 pounds. I can't eat what my wife eats. You're right. I can't eat what my wife eats either, And so on the next video, it's going to be a little bit simple, but we're gonna go to school. If you're 200 pounds and your goal is 180 pounds, how much should you eat? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that on the next video. So you guys stay tuned to that. And if you have any questions, comments, or considerations, hit me up on the community boards. Definitely let us know how you're doing. Let us know how your progress is doing. Put those progress pics up there. Let us champion you. Let us celebrate you, all right? You guys do that. Meanwhile, I will see you guys at the gym.